welcome back to part 3 of our garden journal. I think it's part 3, I'm pretty sure. So look at all this wonderfulness I have. I am ready to put my papers on my traveler's journal on the cover. I'm going to pull out that cord and I'm going to set that aside because you'll have to for that. And I was just deciding what papers I want to do where. Measurements. The measurements for the notebooks are 8.5 by 8.25. So this is 8.5, 8.5 by 8.25. So this is one that I'm going to use. I've got, this is wallpaper. I'm going to go ahead and use this. 8.5 by 8.25. So 8.5 is the wide. 8.5 is the wide. All right, so width by 8.25 tall. So here's my second one that I'm going to use. I am going to use my corner rounder because the books are all rounded. So I'm going to use that for one and this one for one. I can pick out my third paper because I have 3 of those, remember. And maybe that I'll do that on my own time. So we're going to cover these. Now if you remember, I had this paper that I made out of a file folder and I wanted to use that as my cover. Well, as you can see, it's too short this way, and this way just doesn't turn me on either. So I'm going to use it, but just not for my cover. For my cover, I've got paper everywhere here. My cover, I believe I am going to use, I had it here a minute ago, this. I want to use this striped paper because I have a ton of things to decorate the outside with, like these great big flowers and leaves and birdhouses and butterflies. So I don't want that cover to be too busy right off the bat. And I'm going to do the cover in 2 separate sections. I'm going to do this section and this section, 3 actually, and then the back section. So to do that, I'm just measuring. I'm using my T-ruler here, and I'm measuring. This one is going to be 4.5. I like to make it a little bit bigger and then cut it down if I need to. I hate cutting it down too short. This is going to be 4.5. So I'll go ahead and cut 2 at 4.5 and see what I have left for the edge. So that's going to be my cover. I'm going to cover these, of course, and I'll do one with you. I am going to use my double-sided adhesive, and it's just so hard to use this 2-sided paper, isn't it? Because one is just as neat as the other. And I like my dot liner. This is by Kokio, and I'll link this to you. It comes with refills that are easy to put in, just like that. I have a couple of friends, Kathy and Tina. I'm sure you've heard me talk about them. They are addicted to these too. They don't get all hung up. They're really nice and sticky. I think you get 5 refills for 20 bucks, so I think that's affordable. I'll link it below for you. Maybe you might be excited about it too, like we are. So I'm carefully putting my book down here just to get it right up to the edge. And this is not repositionable, so you got to get it right the first time. So that's how easy that is. So go ahead and do your covers. And then the inside here is really quite cool. This piece I cut is 4, and I think it's 4 by 8. 4 by 8, okay? So you pick out which ones you want for inside your pocket. Now watch this. I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm going to go around here to cut that out. I'm going to use my scissors and cut on that line. Okay, and just like that. So now this one here can be the pocket front, and I'm going to round my corner again like this. And then if you turn this over, now this probably isn't a very good example because that's not super pretty on this side. You can stick that in here, and then you'll have, yeah, like that. So then this is your back part. Does that make sense? Stick that in there, and that can be your back part. And then you have a different one for your front part. We'll just pretend like, you know, you wouldn't want to do this. It would be all right if you did, but you'd want 2 different ones to be matching up. I'll do mine, and then you'll see what I mean. So go ahead, cut all your 8x4s, finish your insides, do your outsides of your pocket, and then do your cover. And we're going to come back and do some decorating finally. Finally. I have a little tip also with this hole in here. I'll go cut my paper and I'll come back, okay? And we'll do it together.
I just realized that I didn't have my microphone on, so I'm going to do a little voiceover here. I'm just showing you in this area how I'm using my vintage photo to go around all the edges of the paper for the front and middle of the cover. Then we're going to show you, I don't mind the top here if it doesn't have any paper on it. Here I'm going to show you how to work on that hole. You're going to line up your paper, turn it over, use a pencil and draw that hole through the little hole, and now you'll have a area to punch your circle. If you line it up correctly, I can get to that hole by using this We Are Memory Keepers punch, and as you can see, it has a large area where you can push the paper through, and you can get to really far away holes just like this. Well, unfortunately, I didn't line mine up quite perfect, and I missed where it was supposed to be, so I had to do it twice. But you get the idea. This is a really great tool. I'll link it below. I highly recommend it if you're doing any of these types of paper punching where you have to get in farther away than just a regular paper punch can get you. Yeah, I didn't line it up very well, so I had to do it again, and that's operator error, not the tool's fault, but just my fault. And it's fine. I'm going to probably put a circle around that anyways, and no one would be the wiser. We'll decorate it up somehow with a flower or something when we do our decorating, and it'll be perfect. So I'm just lining it up before I stick it down. And like I said, I missed the hole there, so I had to do it over. And we are going to continue on working on our cover. Next time we'll be working on decorations, because I'm trying to keep these videos short for you. I know you guys are busy and there's other things you need to do besides creating this journal, but it is actually a very, very fun project, and I'm super happy that you're here. So now I will go ahead and trim the edge on the top there. I had it just a little bit overhanging, and I did not like that. So work on your covers, work on your front and back cover, and also the side spine there. Work on your inside pockets, and I am going to um, make this just a little bit bigger so that it covers up all the way to the edge there. And I'm going to work on my pockets, and I'll show you linked above here is where you'll see a video, and it'll show you how to do those inside pockets. Okay.
And that is going to be linked above, and you'll be able to see how to do these pockets. Okay, so do your cover, do your covers for your inside journals, and then your pockets front and back. And that will get us to next week. Next week will be part 4, and we will do our decorating for the cover and our decorating on here. We're also going to make some inserts. We're going to make some pouches for our journals, and we're going to have some really, really great tips for you. So see you again next Saturday for part 4, and I think it'll probably only go until part 5, just, some finishing touches, some little details and things, and then we'll be ready with our journal, or our garden journal. Now I hope you're remembering to go into your March and write down things that are important. I'm hoping this weekend I will write down raking. I'm hoping to get out in the yard if it's not rainy or too cold, and I'm going to start raking. That is definitely early, and I just know that from the time of year. But if I would have had a gardener's journal last year, I would have been able to look in here and see my tips from there. So super exciting. We're going to actually get to use this. So stay tuned, and I'll show you what I put together and how mine looks, and we'll go from there. Okay, have a great week. And what's on Thursday? Thursday is going to be a mixed media project, and it's going to be an Easter project. So stay tuned for that. Hope to see you there, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.